it's Sharon. Today I've got a Christmas card to share. I'm really trying to get all my Christmas cards finished. And this is the Sizzix Thinlit's Winter Foliage die set. It's a really nice die set with a good selection of different types of winter foliage. So it's a good selection to put together. You could make a wreath from it actually, which is something I haven't got around to trying yet, but want to. Today I'm just gonna, well, I kind of didn't know where I was going with this card, so what I'm doing is I'm adding some craft card to the front of a card, and then what I thought I would do is create a base for putting all these leaves on, and then I'm just going to die cut a load of them and work out what to do from there. I know a lot of people plan their videos and will have often made the card first and then kind of recreate it for the video. But sometimes I do that, but in this case, I'm completely winging it and I'm making it up as I go along. And I've got no idea at this point where I'm really going with this, other than I want to create a card with this die set. So I'm going to die cut a selection of the leaves and this mistletoe sprig. And I thought if I just cut them from some different colour cards, then I'll have enough to mix and match and put something together with them. This cardstock I'm using is the Sizzix cardstock, and I've grabbed 3 different shades. This first one is what I would call a kind of traditional green. So I'm going to cut all the leaves from that first. And then I've grabbed a lighter green, and then more of a kind of teal bluey sort of greeny colour. And as I say, I've got no idea where I'm going with this, so I'm just going to die cut everything from each colour. And then I'll have a few different things to play around with. This bluey one, I'm kind of fairly sure that the spruce type leaf is going to look the best in this. But I'm also going to do the mistletoe one here, just in case. I'll pop those out. And then I've got this, I'm not quite sure what this actually is, but it's like a berry. It's a sort of twig sprig that is covered with berries. So I'm thinking that would probably look better with brown, because with all those berries on it, it would be nice to either add some embellishments or maybe some Nouveau drops or something to create the berries. So I'm thinking brown to provide the twig first. And then I'm going with a light green. And then I can play around with these and decide how they're going to work with this circle. So I've got a selection here, as you can see, and I'll start by attaching the circle to my card front just with some double-sided tape. Again, this is Sizzix cardstock that I've used to cut the circle from as well. And I'm just going to put some distress ink around the edges. This is frayed burlap, I think. So I'll pop that on, and then I need to work out which of these I'm going to use and what I'm going to put where. I'm thinking because mistletoe normally kind of hangs down, that's the direction I'm going to start from. Quite often with a floral type arrangement, I might start at the bottom of the circle and then maybe stamp a greeting in the circle, but that mistletoe is kind of leading me to start at the top. And I think that's probably quite a good, I've got a good selection of different colours there, and I quite like that layout, because I am thinking of adding some berries and things. Now, because I've put all these kind of pointing to one spot, I need something to cover where they all meet. So I'm going to probably put the holly berries there. So I'll start with the holly leaves. You get the 2 different sizes, so these work really well together. And as you can see, my plan is to kind of have them all coming from the same point, because the tops of these, where they all join, is going to look a bit messy. The glue I'm using is Cosmic Shimmer PVA glue. I tend to use this for pretty much anything that I might want to move about a bit, because it does have quite a good grab it. Once you've stuck things down, you can move them around, but they don't slide around. So it's quite good for instances like this where I don't really know what I'm doing. So I've got one of the bluey green. This is like a spruce leaf, and then the lighter one. And I'd quite like to have another green, but I haven't got much space here, and they kind of feel like they're covering each other a bit too much, and it's losing a bit of the detail. So I'm just deciding here that perhaps I need to just stick with two. And I've grabbed, there's 3 different berry types in this set, and I've gone for the largest one purely because I want it to cover that messy bit where all the sprigs join. So the larger berries will really cover that join quite nicely. So I'm just using Cosmic Shimmer glue, and as you can see, they're perfect for that. So I've grabbed some of my tonic Nouveau drops because I thought these would be ideal for the berries. And for this sprig that's got quite a lot of berries on it, I've grabbed, this is the new vintage style of the Nouveau drops. These dry matte rather than glossy. And I thought this colour would be quite nice for these berries. This is Postbox Red, but it's kind of almost a pinky red actually, but quite dark. So I thought that would be nice. And I'm just following the design of the die where it's got the round areas. I'm adding a berry, and I'm kind of varying the size a bit so they look more realistic rather than them all being identical. So that looks really good. I'm pleased with that. And I've grabbed, for the mistletoe, I'm going to add white berries. So I've got the Tonic Nouveau crystals, and this is gloss white. This is one that I use so much that I've just recently invested in this big bottle because I'd used up my smaller bottle. And I thought, I think it's worth investing in the larger bottle. So I need a sentiment now for this, and I'm just having a look through my stamp sets, and I found a set by Woodware that's quite an old set actually, and it's called Sprig of Holly, but it's got this sentiment that I thought works perfectly well with my little sort of spray of leaves and berries. And I'm just testing it because I haven't used this stamp set for a while. So rather than go straight onto my card, I'm just checking. I find with clear stamps that different company stamps, sometimes you have to press harder, but sometimes if you press hard, it kind of squashes it a bit and blurs it. So it's always worth, if you haven't used a stamp set for a while and can't quite remember, it's worth just testing them out on a piece of card. And as a final touch, I decided that this did need just something else. So I've grabbed my, this is a Signo Uniball white pen. This is the white pen that I use for everything. It's my absolute favourite. And one of my favourite things is to do this faux stitching on craft cards. I waited to the end to do this because I wasn't quite sure how much space on the card I was going to use, since I didn't really know what design I was going for, and the stitching might have looked a bit fussy if I'd have had a more fussy design, but I think it just sets it off nicely. So I'm just going all around the edge, and then that will be my card finished. I'm really happy with this design, considering I didn't actually know what I was aiming for. I think it's quite a nice layout for all these different leaves, and I think using the different colours has really given it a nice variety. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please consider subscribing if you're not already a subscriber to my channel, and of course please give me a thumbs up if you liked it, so I know what type of videos you like. I'm hoping I'm going to have a few more videos in the next few weeks, so hopefully I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.